So here's the reality. Sales, I believe, is a chosen profession. People are attracted to it because one, it's uncapped income. Two, if you have certain characteristics, you stand out, and people would then tell you, hey, why don't you come across into sales? Now, the reality with sales is that it's actually a thankless job, right? Robin, you kind of know that, right? On Monday morning, you are the man because you got the biggest deal. 2 weeks later, your quarter's looking like crap. Your forecast looks like, oh, we aren't going to make it. Or your colleague is not going to perform. Therefore, your manager says, buddy, I need you to step in and take one for the team. Here's the fun part in sales. You find yourself taking one for the team all the time. You find yourselves going through a roller coaster of emotion. Even the most resilient salespeople ultimately at some point sit back and say, oh my God, what is all this about? It's a thankless job. Yes, there's an upside to it. But at the end of the day, I also met people who told me, because I pay salespeople top notch, therefore I don't understand why they're complaining. Wait a minute. So what that means, Robin, is that if you are earning a great salary, then I can treat you in a disgusting manner. I can make you work 24 by 7. I can use language which you and I would consider to be bad, right? And that's where it started hitting me that what's going on here? What's happening is very simple. People join the sales function due to an attraction. And look, the real people who will survive is those ultimately that are a bit of a narcissist, maybe who can, subdue their emotions, plus are totally motivated by money. I personally have exited enterprise sales twice in my career. Once at age 33, when I came back from a platinum club visit to Cape Town with the family, came back and I begged my boss, I just really don't want to do this anymore. And he convinced me to stay with him. And he said, I'll coach you and I'll work with you and blah, blah, blah. At age 35, I went back to him again. And I said to him that I just don't know what's going on. He then asked me to do something very different, Robin. He said to me, why do you want to leave? What if I double your salary? I said, that's not the point anymore. I cannot perpetually be at stress. I don't know how to manage myself and I need to do something different, but I love sales. And that's how I ended up in sales operations, Robin. So to answer your question very short, people are attracted to sales. The retention strategy is where the problem starts. And the problem, there's something you said which I want to just pick on. Ask yourself a simple question. The person that hired you is the sales manager, right? So sales managers are pretty good at getting rid of the bottom 25%. Who's getting rid of the bottom 25 percent of the sales managers who hired the wrong people? It's not a hiring dilemma. It's not. You cannot tell me. And by the way, that statistic of 35% by age 35 is wrong. The real statistic is 57%, Robin, just FYI, will leave enterprise sales.
Okay.
1%. Now, if you want to flip a coin, that tells you that we don't need sales managers, do we then? If 57% tells you, you just need to flip a coin. If anyone comes in for an interview, if he's got a good piece of paper, give him a chance. That's all it means then.
And this is why ultimately 50% is very high.
It's very high. So what you're saying is flip a coin. That's about it. Hiring then what? The notion that people are being hired incorrectly, I think, is a misnomer. I don't think I would go that way. What I would rather say is that we hire based on what we see at that stage. The problem starts when the reality hits us. Like they always say, right? When the goings get tough, that's when heads start rolling and we run our headless chicken, right? Who keeps their head? And it's not easy in sales to keep your head. And today, where we are post-COVID, working from home, youngsters today don't come back, follow the rules of the game that used to happen before. Sales managers need to understand. In the old days, when we said there are two ways to manage a salesperson, and Robin, you will smile when I say this. It's either the carrot or the stick.
Carrot and
And
stick.
I assure you, in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, the way the carrot and stick work was exactly the same way. They both hurt. I think you got the point, right?
I did.
A carrot and a stick. You are supposed to have an imagery where it says the carrot is the motivator, but no, the way the carrot was used was actually to give you the same pain that the stick would give you. Today, people don't tolerate that, nor are we in a phase where people would proudly say that I was in sales with IBM for 10 years. Those days are gone. You're now going to see people, by the time they get to IBM, would have done 2 or 3 stints already. So long-winded answer, but I'm just going to you just answer that question the way you raised it, is that I seriously believe that sales coaching has to change. The way in which we are interrogating our salespeople as well as how we work with them has to change dramatically. And in the age of AI, this is going to get even more important because now the human touch is going to start being missing from all this interaction. So how do you ensure the human touch still remains? This makes sales coaching even more important in this day and age.